Hey everybody, it's Dr. V. I'm back with a reading for the karmic situation for the month of April. I've already cleansed the space, but I feel like I need to do it again. So I'm lighting some Palo Santo, and then we're just going to jump right in. Cool. You ready? I'm ready. I stay ready. Okay, so I'm going to use the John Holland Psychic Tarot to get started. And as you know, I like to shuffle on camera. Sorry, I just dropped a bunch of cards. So we'll just jump right in. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers for all of the comments, for those of you who have reached out to me for private readings. I really appreciate it. This is something I just love doing, and I'm glad that it's helpful. I know it helps me to do this, and it helps me to watch some of the other readers. I'm going to shout them out right now. My favorite YouTube reader right now is Daniel Boom over at LLE Astrology. He's pretty awesome. If you haven't had a chance, check him out. Another one that I really love to listen to is Simone Ascending. I'll tag them actually in the description box. And Pisces Moon 1111. I mean, of course I listen to there's others too. There's a few that I like to just listen to and confirm some of the energies that I'm receiving, but those are my faves right now. D Boone is hilarious. So, all right, I'm going to shuffle one more time and cut, and we're going to jump right in. So I'm going to do an overall energy of the karmic situation. So this can be for whether you're, this can be for any divine counterpart that's in a karmic. So masculine or feminine. So it's really general overall. But let's do it. It's a tone up song. Yeah, you guys know how I roll. Just roll with me. The first energy is memories of love. The second is solitude. The third is foundation and achievements. Fourth is patience and planning. And the fifth is base chakra. So how I'm reading this is basically like past, like distant past over here on the left, over to the distant future. So I'm reading this over the month of April because this is a monthly overview. I'll do the weekly reading shortly. But basically, in the past, there was the base chakra, which is about materials, like safe, like what I have in this world is like material, basically like material issues, like safety in the world, you know, survival, okay, money, shelter, things like that. So in the distant past, this is the connection, the karmic connection has been all about material stuff. So it's like what brought them together was physical, material stuff. It's like maybe cohabitating, combining finances, something along those lines. That's where they were in the distant past. That really trying to establish a sense of belonging in the world. And in the recent past, they've been in a space of foundation and achievement. So it's like, excuse me, that there's there was a sense of accomplishment. There was a sense of really feeling a little bit, you know, really like there was a foundation that was laid. That's where they were in the past. You know, it could be that they just, like, there was a time of peace. Okay, there was a time of peace where things seemed to be okay, things seemed to be on track. They thought that this was going to be, you know, sort of it for them. But where they are in the present is memories of love. Okay, so what that tells me is that there is this sense of really that they're both are kind of reflecting on the memories of love, like that it's like, you know, we felt good in the past, we felt that sense of peace, we felt like we were building and going somewhere, and they're kind of nostalgic. There's like this nostalgia to it where really how I take this card is that they recognize that what they had or what they thought they had has cycled out, and they are really holding on to the memories of love. Like it's they're kind of dwelling in the past. That's really what it is. It's like they're both kind of stuck in the past, holding on to what they thought they had. But where they're moving to in the near future is a solitude card. And the traditional tarot, this is the Hermit. So it's a retreat. It's going within. It's about really listening to their soul's calling. So it's like both of them are in a situation where their soul is calling to them, trying to get their attention and being like, look, this is not, like, this isn't your end point. This isn't your stopping point. This isn't like your forever home. This was a transition place. This was something, there were things that you were supposed to learn. There were things you were supposed to gain. There were things you were supposed to bring into the world. But now it's time to step into your higher soul purpose. So that's where they're headed. So there's going to be a lot of going within, stillness, some, you know, meditations, increased spirituality, but you know, looking for the higher wisdom, looking for what is supposed to happen now. So it's like once they move out of this nostalgic energy, they're going to realize like, okay, like maybe there was a lot of love in the past, or maybe there was just a little bit of love in the past, but that's not enough to carry it going forward. And they're both moving into that space of recognizing it. And so they're going to both kind of retreat internally, excuse me, and really reconnect with the divine. I get this feeling of opening up to listen to what their soul is trying to get through to each of them. There's my dog walking underneath. So if you see her, she came to say hello. Hi, Dory. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. There's going to be some solitude and some willingness to listen to what the divine is trying to get through. And it's like dealing with one thing at a time. So there may be a lot happening in the material world in their connection right now. And it's like, you just have to, you know, that saying like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That's what it is. It's like one bite at a time. But then in the distant future, where they're going is this patience and planning. So this is like, look, letting go of control, first of all, being patient, and really taking a pause to reassess the direction. So I'm getting this sense between this and this card that in this month, there's going to be some soul searching happening. There's going to be like, really, is this what I want? I'm in a situation that I'm in, but do I really want to be in this situation? Do I want to continue on this path going forward, or do I want to take a different direction? And kind of reevaluating what you know, the goals and the aim. It's like, you know, the things that you chose 10 years ago, or, you know, 5 years ago or a year ago, out of a less awakened space, are not going to serve you going forward into this new soul space. So that's where this is going. There's going to be some, like I said, retreat, going within, and then really taking a good hard look at their life, their relationship, and deciding what's best going forward. And this is also a space of like choosing from the heart. It's less about like what do others want, what do I think I'm supposed to do, but really kind of going within to what is it that I want, what does my heart want, what is my soul calling me to. So that's the overall energy of this connection right now. It's interesting because there, again, like we've talked probably in like all of the last readings, it's like there's no love there. The only thing that's there in this union right now is memories of love, or I wouldn't necessarily union, connection. In this karmic situation, the only love that's present is the memory of love and nostalgia. But going, you know, in the future, there is no love present. So let's look at where the divine counterpart is in terms of their headspace toward their karmic. Spirit, where is the divine counterpart in their headspace toward their karmic? That card literally just jumped out. First card, the one that just jumped out. Give your relationship a chance. And what Spirit is saying is like beating a dead horse. Sorry, I mean, literally, it's like in the divine counterpart's mental space toward their karmic, they're in give your relationship a chance mode. And the next card, make the effort. And honeymoon. So this is where the divine counterpart is. Your divine counterpart, whoever's watching this, in their headspace, they're, you know, wanting to give this karmic relationship a chance. There may be reasons for that. You know, they may have business ties or family or children or friends or financial things that are linking them, and so they're in this space of like they really want to give it a try. They want to make the effort, and they want to feel that honeymoon energy. Like they're like, well, you know, if I'm going to be here and I'm going to try and I'm going to, you know, give it a chance and make the effort, like I want it to feel good. I want to have that kind of honeymoon energy present in the connection. So that's what they're trying, and literally what I'm saying is like trying to recapture, that they're trying to recapture, but what I'm getting is that it's not even like a recapturing, it's sort of like a what's the word I'm trying to find? It's trying to kindle, or trying to like there's just this sense of like there's wanting to try, they want to make the effort, and they want this to be like this honeymoon energy. So basically what they want is they want to take, which is crazy, right? It's crazy thoughts, but the divine counterpart wants to take that energy that he or she has with their divine counterpart and bring it to this karmic. And spoiler alert, ain't happening. That energy is for the divine, yo. So where is the divine counterpart in terms of their heart space toward the karmic? Forgiving and learning. Let go of control issues. And stay optimistic about your love life. So they're in this space of, you know, it says releasing and healing the past. And so there's this space of where they're really wanting to move forward. They want to forgive and learn from the situation and move forward. This is the heart space. They're letting go of control issues. So part of this is like they have, I get that the divine counterpart, your divine counterpart for the watcher, is having a lot of control issues. It's like if I'm not in this situation, X, Y, and Z might happen, and I would blame myself. And if I'm not here, and just things like that, where they're trying to micromanage an outcome that is literally beyond their control. And so they're in their heart space, they're really trying to get into that of letting go of the control issues. And they're trying to stay optimistic, like, because they're in this space in their head of wanting to try and wanting to make the effort. In their heart, they're really trying to stay optimistic about it. Like, if they finally accept that this honeymoon energy is never going to be present in this connection, then they would have to resign themselves either to having like a passionless karmic relationship forever, where there's really no love and it's just, you know, it is what it is. And they're trying to not go there. They're not trying to hear it right now. I'm going to pull some clarifiers on that. And I felt led to use the Santa Muerte deck. So I really want to pull a couple of clarifiers around where the divine counterpart is in terms of this connection. Because there seems to be, again, a little bit of, it's just like the forgiving and learning. It's like, and the letting go of control issues is like they're not fully in that connection and they're not fully out. Kind of got like they're riding the fence. And you know what? The divine does not like lukewarm. Divine's like, either get in or get out. So, some clarification around this. Yep. Wow. So the three cards that came out, the first is the Lovers, the next is the King of Cups, and the next is the Hierophant. So I'm going to lay those there. These are beautiful cards, by the way. And they're not a dark energy. I hear a lot of people describing the Santa Muerte as dark, and it's not a dark energy. Santa Muerte is really all about celebrating life. It's about recognizing that we each have a limited amount of time on this earth and making the most of it. So the Lovers, it's like, this is a choice, okay? This is, the divine counterpart is at a choice point, okay? So it's like they're between two options, right? I mean, really, like the karmic or the divine. So do I choose the karmic or do I choose the divine? So this is the overall energy that they're experiencing right now. It's like they're in this space of learning, right? There was forgiving and learning, this space of forgiving and learning in order to make a choice to go forward. So it's like, basically this card is saying, like, look, divine counterpart, if you're willing to make the choice and follow your heart, you can create something new. It can be, you know, something great, something wonderful. But you got to get out of your doubts and get out of that ambiguous, lukewarm, not quite sure what I want space. So the divine counterpart is still in this space of not really choosing which path they want to go on. And the energy of this month is basically like, time for you to choose. Time, you know the saying, like, shit or get off the pot. Sorry for I hope you guys don't mind profanity, because it visits a lot when you're doing readings with me. But this, you know, the next card is the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is like a steady figure. It's someone that's calm, they're benevolent. He's mature. He's like in the king energy, right? It's like, and this is emotion. The cups are like love and emotion, and you know, he's a solid figure, and he wants to move into that space. This is where, the divine counterpart wants to move into this space of being more steady, being more like an anchor. not being like all over the map and unable to decide and unable to choose. So that's where the energy that the divine wants, the counterpart wants to go into. And it's also about learning to trust your intuition and trust your heart. That's the space that they are headed. And then the final clarifier is the Hierophant. It's basically like, you know, what's above, as above, so below. It's about getting into this connection between the physical reality and the spiritual reality. It's about wisdom from the ancestors, from the collective unconscious, from the soul, from the divine. Again, this is a mature energy. So the divine counterpart is moving out of this kind of juvenile space that they've been in. I'm like, I can't decide if I'm coming or going or if it's up or down. They're moving out of that space into a more mature energy of like, look, I know I need to communicate. I need to be clear. I need to do what I need to do. Bringing support and being reliable, essentially, because the divine, your divine counterpart has just not been reliable. They've been, like I said, all over the map lately because of this stuff, and they want to move into this energy. So they're still not in a space of having fully decided one way or the other, but they're moving into that space. So I hope that makes sense. Because what it feels like is like they're kind of like, well, I'm gonna, love you know that song, like, love the one you're with. If you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. It feels like that's sort of where the divine counterpart is right now. That they're like, they don't believe necessarily that they can have a situation that would be beneficial with their divine counterpart. So they're kind of like, well, I mean, if this is where I'm going to be, then I'm going to like at least make an effort, and I'm going to try and step into being more mature and being more solid. Okay. So where is the karmic in relationship to the divine counterpart? Where's the karmic in their headspace in relationship to the divine counterpart? Spirit, where is the karmic in relationship to the divine counterpart? This could be the one. The headspace. Healing family issues. And calling in your soulmate. So in the karmic's head, they're still really, 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 really wanting to try and make this situation work. Like they're like, this could be the one. This could be my, my forever. And so they're working on healing some family issues, some of their own blocks, some of their own stuff in order to keep this connection alive. It's interesting because calling in your soulmate, what's interesting to me is that I feel like the karmic is like, they're thinking that the divine counterpart is the one, but because that's what they think they want. But on a soul level, they're like, in their prayers or whatever, it's like, they're like, this is what I want. And they want it to, they think that they want it to be with the karmic or with the divine counterpart. But what they're doing is like, they're going to accidentally F around and call in their actual soulmate, call in the energy that they want to receive. Because when you have a longing in your heart, even if it's like directed at one person, if it's not your person, then it's going to start speaking and calling to your person's soul, if that makes sense. So it's like on the one hand, the karmic is really trying to like preserve the situation, and they're still trying to believe that this could be the one. They're really trying to believe that. Because that's what they think that they should be doing, and that's what they think that they want. But they're also recognizing on some level in their mind space, their mental space, that there are some things that are missing, and they're really trying to call that in. It's very interesting. So where is the karmic in terms of their heart space toward the divine counterpart? And actually another message just came through with regard to this is like, this is all mental stuff, right? This is like calling in your soulmate. This could be the one. That's all thoughts. That's not heart space. You don't call your soulmate in through thoughts. You call it in through feeling. That's a heart space thing. You have to feel it. And so this is all mental. I just get the sense that it's like, the karmic is like, it's all in their head. Like there's this like illusion that they are buying. It's like they're selling themselves a lie and buying it in their mind. But in the heart space, let's see where they are. First card, you deserve love. Second card, true love. And the final card for the karmic's heart space is separation. So where the karmic is like, in his or her heart space is coming into this space of like, look, I deserve love. Which means that they're on some level in their heart recognizing like, this ain't it. This is not love. Whatever this divine counterpart is offering to them is not love. I'm almost getting the energy of like people around the karmic being like, yo, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you allowing this situation to go on unchecked? Like, it's like something's off, It's like that Janet Jackson song, what have you done for me lately? Where she's like, they're talking at the beginning of the song, and she's like, oh, he stood me up again. And she's like, again, like, what's up with this dude? And she's like, oh, but he does nice things for me. And she's like, well, he used to do nice things for you, but what has he done for you lately? And that's sort of what I feel like the energy around, like external of the karmic is sort of this energy of people around them saying like, what are you doing? Like, if you ever watch Sassy Gay Friend videos, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's sort of the energy that I'm getting around that the karmic is getting in that space of like, I deserve love. I deserve to feel love and passion. And again, there's that sense of like, I don't even think this is, truthfully, I don't feel like this is about, I think these two cards are really tied together. Like the energy that I'm getting is like, you deserve love. You deserve true love. You deserve to have your soulmate. You deserve to have that. And, what is going on? Like, is this a situation that can give you that true love? Like, is this really the true love that you really, truly want? So I feel like in their heart space, the karmic is like, is this true love? Like, I deserve love. Is this true love? Like, what's happening here? Because, like, people can sense when someone's in love with them and when they're not. And so I have this sense of the karmic really kind of going within and trying to figure out what's going on, whether this is really true love or not. But there's separation ahead. There's time apart, and this could be like, remember up here, there was a solitude card. So that was sort of like that's the hermit, I believe. And so this is like, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So there's going to be some space that's happening. It could be, mentally, it could be emotionally, it could be physically, but there is time apart that's coming. And that's because of this, because everything is being questioned in the karmic's heart right now. Is like, I want to believe that this is my soulmate. I want to believe that this is the one for me, but I'm not feeling the love. I'm just not feeling it. Like, I'm questioning the love. There's questions. And I'm really getting strongly that there are outside sources, there's outside influences that are questioning it as well. Or that are caught, say, asking things or raising issues that is causing the karmic to really reflect, like, is this love? Is this what I want? Or is it something else that's guiding this? So I'm going to pull some clarifiers again from the Santa Muerte card, or the Santa Muerte deck. And maybe we'll get a little more clarity on this. Okay. So Spirit, give us some clarification, please, on this situation. The first is the Knight of Pentacles. The next is the Emperor. And the last is the Two of Cups. So let's look at that. The Knight of Pentacles brings with him a rapid and dynamic gain, such as assured booty. He is resistant and persevering worker, very practical and taking initiative. He can also easily be egocentric and unconcerned about his own or other people's feelings, as long as he can achieve his own interests. So this is the energy that's coming through, is that the karmic is kind of in a space of like, I don't really care if everybody else is unhappy, like I'm going to get mine. It's an immature energy. Okay. It's this like, I want what I want, and that's just what I'm going to get. So there's that. It's also sort of like a rush of energy. Okay. That is coming. It's like, you see it's on the horse and moving forward. Yeah. So this feels like it's, on the one hand, like a little bit of an opportunistic kind of energy. And on the other hand, or maybe not even on the other hand, but there's also this sense of like, maybe it's time to take a risk. Maybe it's time to do something different. And that may be birthed out of the separation energy. And then we have the Emperor. So this is like, literally like the material, natural world trying to like keep a stability and equilibrium. So I get the sense that the karmic is very much aware that the divine counterpart is just not fully in it, right? That they're aware that there's something going on. They know that there's like things that are not right. Like shit's not right. That you can feel it. You can feel when things are not right. But with this, the Emperor card combined with this card is kind of like, I know things aren't right, but this is like my kingdom. This is my domain. This is my partner. This is my person. And I'm just going to like, you know, come hell or high water, I'm going to like dig in, and that's going to be it. So, however, it's kind of really like, kind of almost like a tyranny energy. It's almost like this controlling, tyrannical, I'm not going to let you go. I'm not going to let you go. I'm going to hold on. And then with this Two of Cups card, it's like they really want this to be like a reciprocal thing. Like, I get the sense that this connection is pretty imbalanced right now, and they really want it to be more balanced, and they want it to be kind of the fantasy. They want the fantasy. And it's also about, you know, the downside of this card. I don't do reversals because I feel like, basically I feel like all of human behavior, all things are on a continuum, right? So like if there's the light and the dark side, it's like one side is this, one side is that. So it has the potential to go either way. But this card can also suggest, like, it can suggest like a balance in love relationships, but it can also suggest jealousy, frustration, betrayal, and separation. And so having this separation card and this card coming up in the same spread is telling me that there is a likelihood that this connection, this karmic connection, can break apart. There can be some things that happen that cause this connection to to crumble in the next short while. So let me look at, I'm going to move these cards because it's kind of getting cluttered here. So I'm going to set these to the side, and I want to pull some more clarification on sort of what they're supposed to be learning, and just some deeper wisdom for the month between this connection. So what what lessons, what karma they're moving through right now. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. That's what feels right. Like, what is, Spirit, what is the lesson or the karma that's being resolved right now? Heartache and loss. Partnerships and alliances. There's 2 3s. That's interesting. And accelerated motion. So I'm going to look at heartache and loss. The meaning of this card revolves around disappointment, sorrow, and separation, which can cause upheaval and distress. It takes all the strength you have at this moment in order to move past the pain and heal your heart. The love that has been given to another should now be focused on you. Although you might look at this card as being negative, it can act as a tremendous catalyst, encouraging you to move on. So the karma that this connection is working through right now is, what I'm getting is essentially like recognizing when something has come full circle and letting it go. So that's the 3rd time that separation has come up. And it's like, you know, sometimes people hold on to connections far longer than they should because they think that's what they should do. And so I feel like if part of the lesson is, you know, embracing the heartache and loss and being kind of like, look, maybe this isn't what we thought it was going to be, and maybe it's something that we need to look at differently. It could also be if the divine counterpart is in separation from their divine counterpart, then there can be some heartache and losses coming through for that. So some of the karma is again about the partnerships and alliances. It's about, you know, always, literally this is about an even exchange of energy. And like I said earlier, that it feels like it's really imbalanced right now. It feels like, really, it feels like the karmic is giving a lot and the divine counterpart is just taking, and it's depleting the shit out of the karmic. Like the karmic is like, I'm freaking exhausted. Like I love this. I think I love this person. I think this is the person for me, but they're draining the shit out of me. Like I can't, like I'm freaking tired. Like they need to pull their own weight in this connection if it's going to last. And so I feel like that's part of that too, is like, you know, that the first card that the karmic pulled was, or one of the cards was love yourself first, right? Or you deserve love. I'm looking at it right now. You deserve love. And so the karmic is in kind of this space of like, I've been carrying this, I've been doing all this work, I've been like, you know, not speaking up, not saying much, not expressing myself because I don't want to like lose this person, but I'm freaking tired. I can't continue on this path, and there needs to be like an even exchange of energy, or something's got to shift. So it's basically like if one is giving too much and the other is giving too little, it's causing an imbalance. It's like disharmonious, and this is sort of, again, like I feel like this outside energy coming in, like, you know, asking the karmic to be like, why are you investing so much in this situation? Like, what's going on? But then the next card, that the next lesson that they're supposed to be learning right now is accelerated motion. It's basically like taking advantage of the opportunity when it presents itself to you to take steps forward. So the Knight of Pentacles, again, remember the Knight of Pentacles was kind of like forward motion energy, and that's sort of the lesson that they're supposed to be learning, is like recognizing when it's an opportune time to move forward, recognizing when it's time to take a step forward, and not delaying. I mean, literally, it's about stop delaying. I feel like there's this energy in this connection where it's just like people are not really being 100% honest with each other. They're like not really acknowledging the disharmony, like that it's imbalanced. And saying like, it's time to act. It's time to do something about it. It's time to, like, again, like either shit or get off the pot, like one or the other. Like, either be in this karmic connection and you dedicate yourself into it entirely, or get out. But none of this half-hearted, you know, my mind is in one place, my heart's in another place, and I'm confused. You know, it's time to like recognize that sometimes you've just got to, you know, go forward, move forward. So I'm getting the sense with like the separation cards that are coming up, and the heartache and loss, accelerated motion. I'm really getting the sense that that connection is really out of balance right now. Really out of balance, and it has been for a while, and it's finally coming to a head. I feel like April is going to be a month where shit's going to come to a head, where maybe it'll be time where honest conversations are happening, where people are finally getting real with one another about things and making a decision to either go forward with the karmic connection or move into something different. And given the separation cards that came up, I'm getting the sense that at least energetically there's going to be a parting of ways. At least it's in the energy field that there's going to be some endings that'll be coming. I'm not saying that it's 100% sure. You got to take that as it resonates, but I'm getting pretty clear. I mean, separation has come up a number of times. So I'm going to pull a final message from the universe card from the mystical shaman oracle. Let me scooch those up. And scooch, it's a very technical term. Actually, two just came out. Interesting. The medicine wheel and fire. Fire. You guys gotta just bear with my singing, okay? I'm like, I think in lyrics, apparently. Medicine wheel. Cycle of life, cycles of nature. Basically, it's like to manifest clear blue skies in your life, it's important that you take a look at certain aspects of your being. Enter the medicine wheel from the south and reflect on how you are still clinging to events from the past. Continue to the west and notice which relationships are toxic and drain your energy. Step into the north and ask yourself, do I know my passions, and show it. And at the east direction, visualizing how you want to live the next chapter of your life. It's up to you how much time you spend in each direction. Minutes, days, or months. But when you're done, make sure to step outside the wheel and to contemplate your journey. So this is, to me, suggesting the end of a cycle, that there is, like I said earlier, really evaluation. There's like, is this what I want? Is this truly like what I want? Like, can I see myself in this kind of connection for the rest of my life? If I can, what would I be giving up? Is it toxic? Is it unhealthy? Is there old patterns being played out, like codependency or unwillingness to let go because like the future is scary if you don't, all of those things. Like, people get comfortable in situations. Well, this is saying that like right now, the energy of this month is that there's a lot of introspection, a lot of reflection that's happening, and some honest internal conversations. And the medicine in this card is, you must not postpone your healing journey any longer. It can be difficult to start, but you must find the inner strength to step into the medicine wheel, or you may lose your opportunity. There are many ways and many paths. Choose the one you resonate with most. Once you have found it, the only mistake you can make is not to follow. Go boldly. So, yeah, that's where the connection is. It's like, the universe is kind of telling them it's time to get real, time to examine, time to really dig in and see what's holding this connection together, and whether it should continue being held together, or whether it's time to really, truly, once and for acknowledge the truth, which is that, it's kind of whack, actually. And the next card that came out, it says, warm your hands and heart by your inner fire. Let it burn away your hardships. Let it consume your pain and your sorrow. Has life become too rigid, too cold, or too superficial? Light a candle or make a bonfire, and toss into the flames everything that has become stiff and painful. Give it all to the fire for rapid transformation. Set your life on fire. And the medicine is, are you feeling too fiery? Have you been reactive and short-tempered toward others? This has come to tell you that all fiery emotions directed at others can backfire at you. It's not a good idea to play with fire when you are out of balance or angry. So, yeah, I'm saying like, it's like, I get this real like stagnant energy that this like connection is really, may have had some passion in the past, may have had some love in the past, but that's been gone for a while. And it's been like kind of rote and routine, and not vibrant, not alive, not, something that you look at and like, oh yeah, this looks like I can totally be happy in this situation for the rest of my life. And so both parties are really contemplating, do I want to continue in this connection? Do I want to try a different direction? And it's like getting back into the passion, right? It's about finding your own, like, what is that saying? Like, set your life on fire and seek those who fan your flames. It's like this connection just doesn't have any fire. It doesn't have any passion. It doesn't have any like soulfulness to it. It's just kind of the. And this month they'll be working through that. They'll be working through, whether they want to commit to trying to rebuild the fire, rebuild the passion, or whether they're at this point finally willing to let the cycle end and move into the new phase. I feel like there's going to be a lot of karmic situations are going to be coming to an end, or they're going to become at the beginning of the end. It may not happen immediately, but it will be happening, and there's some growth that's going to happen. It's not going to be painless. There's going to be heartache and loss associated with it, but all growth is painful. We know that. So I hope this helped. I hope this reading was insightful and it's helpful for you. And again, thank you for all your likes and your comments and your support. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you want to schedule a private reading with me, I'd be happy to get that in my calendar. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back shortly with readings for the week. This last reading I just posted and this reading are the overall energies of the month, so I'll break it down by the week as well. So have a great one. Bye.